I'm 31 and I'm single. And to be honest, one of the funniest experiences I've had as a single person over 30 was one particular day. There's this young lady that got married, and I just saw her, and I was like, wow, congratulations on your wedding. I was so happy for her. You doing congratulations and everything. She just paused, looked at me. She said, she hugged me like this. Don't worry. No, I feel like crying. That very day, I don't know if I should laugh or I should laugh. I was looking at her like, Auntie, why are you comforting me? I'm single, I'm not dying. Oh my God. I'm not against marriage. I pray about it. I want to get married. I will get married. But I've come to realize that the aim is not just to get married. The aim is not just to marry. The focus is to marry well. In fact, some people will check all your boxes. Some people is going to look like that's going to look great on paper. Everything is, everything is set, is there. But then I've come to realize something, that the fact that somebody is a spec or meet all the criteria and everything you've written about it does not automatically translate to God's will for you. And if God says no, then my answer has to be no. Why? Because I would rather wait a little while longer than spend my the rest of my lifetime wishing that I had waited. So if you are single like myself, and you'll be thinking like life is passing you by, everybody around you is getting married, it looks like it's only you. Sometimes it might even look like nobody wants you, or nobody that you want actually wants you, and you're feeling left behind. You feel like maybe God does not love you again. Then this conversation is for you. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 intentional things I do while waiting. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I've been doing while waiting, one thing I've realized is that waiting doesn't automatically translate to wisdom. You don't automatically become wise because you're waiting. Somebody can wait and still choose wrong. You heard that some persons get married at 36, 37, 39, and after a year they are divorced. There's this person that I know. I don't know the woman, but I know the man who got married, and I got to know that the woman got married 36, 37, only for the marriage to end in like 6 months. Why? Because the husband actually lied about a lot of things. He had already been divorced like 2 times. The wife did not know. He thought he was a single guy. He's not really into God. The wife thought he was a pastor. I mean, it's so bad. And when I think about her sometimes, I just feel really bad, because this is somebody that got married as a virgin, single, waiting on God, and then she still missed it. I know many times you can say things like, I've waited enough. I have waited enough. And I think at this point in time, let me just marry anyone. Let me just make a choice. But my question to you is, what if you waited, as you have waited for this long, you still go ahead to choose the wrong person? Then what exactly is all your waiting? What is it going to amount to? For me, waiting is not about counting my birthdays and how many weddings I've attended. Sin is growing in God to a point where I can now recognize His voice. Now, when He speaks, I'm able to identify that this is God speaking to me. And why is this very important? Because nobody actually knows a man more than the creator of that man. The person that has come to you for marriage, the person that you are looking at for marriage, nobody knows him. Even he does not know his tendencies. He doesn't know himself. Only God knows him more than he knows himself. God knows him. God knows you. He knows if you are compatible. He knows if this is his will for you. And how will you know if you are not able to recognize the voice of God when he's telling you this is not the right choice? When he's telling you this is the right choice, go for it. And you're thinking, it's not my respect. God is saying this is your choice. This is the right choice. And many of us, we want to really obey God. Even if it's not our spec, we'll still say, okay, maybe. But when you don't recognize God's voice, when you don't have a relationship with Him, it is dangerous. In my experience as a single person, I'm experienced as a single person, because I don't think I can count, but then I don't count, but then I think I've had over 20 marriage proposals. 20 is small. I've had many. I'm 31. So since 20 something, 22, 23, 24, 25, And to be candid, I'm not going to lie to you. There have been people that tipped all the bosses, people that I even think, in fact, there were days where I say, okay, I'm just going to accept this proposal by next week. And before next week, God has done everything He can to tell me, you are not going to do that. He just found a way to say, no, you are not doing this. Because number one, people can present to you the best version of themselves. Oh my God. You will see everything that you have been looking for. They will present it to you like this is it. And you'll be like, oh wow, thank you, Jesus. God will say, I don't have a hand in this. Don't take me. I don't know what you're talking about. Relationship with God is vital. The most important factor to consider when you want to get married or while you're waiting. Build it such that eventually when God is settling you, you are so certain that I'm marrying the will of God and it was worth all the wait. Now, let me tell you something. Recently, I was reading the scriptures, I was considering somebody for marriage, and then I was reading the scriptures, and God pointed my attention to the book of Joshua chapter 9, Joshua 9. And it was talking about the Gibeonites. When they came to the Israelites, they see that they were taking other people's land. These Gibeonites came to Israelites. They lied to them. They told them that they were from a far country. Their bread was dry. Their clothes were tattered. Their horses looked tired. Everything looked like, of the truth, they were actually coming from a very far country. And the Bible specifically said the Israelites just looked at them and agreed with them. They did not remember to ask God because the Gibeonites looked like what they said they were. And that's how they missed out on that part of God's promises for them because they were supposed to take all the lands. But at that point in time, they now made covenant with them. There was no separation. So they had to live together with them. They couldn't conquer their land because they had already given them their word. That's how they missed out on God's promises for them because they chose by sight. They made decisions by sight. So I've learned to rely solely on God's leading at this point in time. And you should do that as well. Rely solely on God's leading. Because let me tell you something, everything might look good on paper. That guy that look like he's everything, but he's actually not. Except God says he is. What looks perfect might eventually not be God's perfect will for you. So this is why I'm now so very convinced that the greatest gift a man can have is not the ability to identify red flags. The greatest gift a man can have is the ability to recognize God's voice. Because his voice is going to save you from mistakes that your eyes cannot see. And honestly, if I'm being truthful with you, I would rather have God interrupt a relationship than actually spend years asking God to rescue me from one. So if you're single and you're watching this, don't just pray alone, God give me a husband, God give me a wife, God give me a good spouse. Ensure that your prayer is grounded in God. Help me to recognize your voice. Let me know you to a point where I will be able to identify the right person when it comes. Help me not to mistake somebody else's path for mine. This is because the greatest preparation for marriage is not finding the right person. It is following the right shepherd, following the leading of God. So this is the first thing I have been doing while waiting for marriage. Attempting, praying, getting committed to recognizing God's voice and building a solid relationship that can last a lifetime, even into marriage with God. I'm going into this number two. Have you ever noticed that when people see somebody that is single like myself and they're going to just ask them, when are you getting married? Um, when when should we come to eat jollof rice? That's Nigeria. I want to eat jollof rice. Nobody really asks you, where are you going? What are you building with your life? And I find it's really funny. I'm not even going to lie. Because marriage is a journey. Marriage is simply a journey. And you must know where you are going before you identify the person that is going on that journey with you. Somebody can be going to Lagos, for example, if you are in Nigeria, and that person is going to Abuja, and then because the person that is going to Lagos doesn't know where they are going to, the Abuja person looks like a destination. Looks like, oh, you just follow anyone, and before you know it, you are far from destiny. You are far from purpose, just because you got married. So before you choose a journey partner, shouldn't you know where exactly you are going to? One gift that singlehood has given me, and I'm so grateful for it, is the ability to discover purpose. So the number two thing I do is find my purpose. Not only find my purpose, walking in it, aligning with it, building it already. That's already a pointer whether you are going on the same path or this is not the right person for me. Honestly, if I've gotten married years, many years ago, I don't think I would be where I am today, doing the things I am doing today. Not because I think marriage would have stopped me, but because God is still introducing me to me. He's still letting me know, Joker, this is who you are. I'm able to focus on who I am. I'm able to focus on what I carry as a person. God was busy revealing to me the burdens that were greater than me, the assignment that was greater than me. And I had the whole opportunity, this period, to discover myself. Before I discovered my purpose, before now, I was just always thinking, oh, my husband look like, who am I getting married to? Who am I getting married to? I just wanted to know, like, but then now I think differently. So when somebody comes around, I'm not thinking, okay, do I want to get married to this person? No. My thought is now, can this person walk this journey of life with me? Can he walk the road that God is calling me to? Can this person carry the weight of my destiny? Let me tell you a quick story. There was a brother that was asking me at one time, after I had proposed and everything, and I was like, okay, I was going to pray about it. We're just talking, talking state thing, and he said, Joker, what can you tell me about your purpose? Okay. So at first, usually I don't talk much about it because I don't know if I'm going to marry you. I can't be telling everybody that proposed to me everything about my life, what God has told me. So most times I just say, I will serve the purpose of God. I'm into the media, I'm into the ministry. I just give them the vague. But that day I felt prompted to talk and I was discussing my purpose. I'd already got things that even me I don't know about myself. I just find it coming. It was like an overflowing in my spirit. I had a flow of the spirit. I was just talking, telling him the things I've seen, telling him what God has told me many years ago. I was expanding. I was expanding. By the time I finished talking, this one I took a deep breath. He said, "It is well." He said, you could see that he was already overwhelmed by the things I was saying. I could literally, I felt bad. I felt pity for him. I think he just wanted a lady that is just a Christian. Let us get married, nothing serious. We're just a couple. We go to church, we wear ankle and the same material, just have children. That is all he wanted. And then the things I was saying was already too much for him. And I had to ask him, I said, am I overwhelming you with, or did I overwhelm you with what I just discussed with you? He was like, no, no, it's good. God will help us. Now, I didn't need to go back to God and say, God, this person. I could see he does not have the capacity. It looks big to him. Something that I'm still like, something that God is still saying, come up with that. There is more, okay? There is more, there is more. Somebody is already feeling you are doing too much. So discovering your purpose help you to know who will go on this journey with you, who can be your backbone, who can be your cover. That when you are attempting, when you are going in the way of the Lord, you are taking territories. You know that you have a backing, you have a covering, somebody with capacity. How would you know this if you have not discovered your purpose? If you don't know what God is calling you to, if you don't know what you carry as a person, knowing your purpose changes your prayers, it changes your standards, it changes the things you look out for in a man or in a spouse or in a woman. Now, if you're a man watching this, I believe that you actually understand. Just apply it to yourself as well. You know the kind of person, a woman that's all she wants is just to be a housewife, nothing serious. And you say, God is calling me to this. You're like, yeah, I don't want anything serious. You know to sieve them out. Purpose helps you. It helps you to look beyond who likes me, who do I love. It makes it about capacity, about standards, about calling, about what God has deposited into you, about fulfilling destiny. So you need somebody who will not compete with what God has placed in your hands. Someone who will not pull you in the opposite direction. And when I'm talking purpose, I'm not talking ministry, please. It doesn't have to be ministry. When I say ministry, it doesn't have to be a pulpit minister, somebody with a church, somebody. No. Purpose is simply knowing what God has called you to do. It could be as simple as raising godly children. And then you meet somebody that says, me, I don't want to have children, no. Even if I will have, maybe we can adopt, or maybe we can have just one. I'm not into the children thing. I want to live my life. Automatically, you know that this is not the person. It could be very simple as teaching teenagers. It could be building a business just to be a kingdom financier. It could be something that people don't even pay attention to. It doesn't have to be like, I'm a minister, I'm a man of God. No. The point is just know where God is taking you because clarity is a gift. And when you have clarity, you become less desperate. You become more intentional. So you stop asking, who will marry me? You start asking, who can faithfully walk me into all that God has prepared for us? That is a much better question. Now, this leads us into number three. The third thing I do while waiting for marriage. For this number three, can I be a little honest with you? One of the lies we tell ourselves is that, you see, when I get married, I'm going to change. It's a lie because marriage does not change character, it only reveals it. Many things you don't know that is hidden in you, marriage reveals them. If you have anger issues now, you are still dealing with anger issues now. When you get married, marriage will reveal it. If you have issues with unforgiveness, you don't just like to forgive people. When you get married, marriage will present you with more opportunities of offense, and then your forgiveness will go up there. If you cannot communicate well now, marriage is not going to automatically download communication skills into you. In fact, let me tell you the truth. One thing that God has been working on me over time in this waiting period is building character. And that's the third thing I do while waiting for marriage. I'm building my character. And to be candid, it is not easy, it's not comfortable. It's not because this is you, especially when there's something you are so used to doing. I don't like people in my space. I don't like this. I don't like that. And all of a sudden, God is saying, allow people. All of a sudden, God is saying, let it go. All of a sudden, God is saying, laugh more, smile more, play with people more, be jovial more. And then you now have to become conscious of doing that. Very, very conscious of doing that. Things that would have easily gotten me angry before no longer gets me angry. I'm an extrovert. I talk to people all the time. I like to play. You can I play all the time. It doesn't. No, God will tell you, okay, this is time to play, and keep quiet now. Oh, I'm an introvert. I only stay on my own. Don't. And God will say, no. Interact. Talk with people. Be playful. Be joyful. This is the season where you build character, solid character. See, character is not a destination. It is a daily decision to become more like Christ. So every day you are making that decision. Every day it's a conscious thing. You build it, you build it. You can't say, I've already built my character, I'm done. Everything is done now. There's nothing remaining to build. You keep building. There is always more. There is always more until we become like Christ. So when it comes to relationship and this singlehood, many times we pray that God, let my husband be kind. Let him be intentional. Let him be patient. Let him be understanding. Let him be loving. They are very good. I pray those prayers. In fact, I have a daily confession I do. I have a program, a community, dear single community. And the last conversation we had, it was beautiful, by the way. We had a confession card for everybody. Now, I said those confession things, but God is saying that those things you are asking for, are you becoming that? Oh, let him be loving and intentional. Are you an intentional person? One thing I usually say about me, let me expose myself. I'm not a calling type. I don't call people. It's terrible, I know. And it's not like intentional. I'll be like, I don't call. No. It just never occurred to me to call you. It only just come to my mind to call somebody. The only people I remember to call is my mom, my parents, and my siblings. I don't call friends. I don't call people. And my friends will just call and say, it's okay. I'm the only one that's always, I'm sorry. I only remember them when their call comes in. And God is saying, you can't carry this attitude into marriage. That you only remember your husband that he says, even if he travels. So this is one thing that God has been working on. You must have something. You must have things you are working on. And it starts with sincerity. Don't deceive yourself like I'm perfect. I'm okay. I'm not this, I'm not that. No. If you are patient enough, if you sit with God, He will show you yourself. God will always show you your flaws, not to embarrass you, but for you to work on it, but to make you a better version of yourself. His aim, his plan is always of good towards you. The kind of marriage you are praying for will require a particular kind of person. And why God is preparing that kind of person for you, do not be shocked that God will prepare you first. It will correct you. It will stretch you. It will heal you. It will teach you because it is more easier now to learn some things where you are still single than start learning it when you're already hurting somebody with that thing. Somebody's already in pains. Somebody's already getting traumatized. And that's when you start learning to work on it. God is not unfair. God will not do that to his children. That is, since you are praying for his child, since you're asking God to give you his choicest son, choicest daughter, you must also be that person. So yes, I pray for my husband that it should be this, it should be that, God, everything. But I also pray, make me the right person that will bring out the best in him. Make me a blessing to my husband. Because the waiting period isn't just about finding the right person. It's about becoming somebody who can sustain a healthy, godly marriage. And honestly, I believe that's one of the greatest investments you can make as a single person. So this leads us into number 4. Remember, we're going to number 5. Wait till the end. Number 4 thing that I do while waiting for marriage. See, this particular one, everybody has been telling me. And it's like, I know they hear what. I don't hear. They will say, Joke, leave your house. You are not a furniture. How many of us still do that thing? Leave your house. You are not a furniture. Many of us will want God to deliver our spouse to us, on our bedroom. Like you're just in your house and then you hear a knock. Of course, I've heard that story before. I, I've heard that story before where somebody said the way she met her spouse was they were living in a block of flats and then somebody knocks, she answered, oh, the person knocked on the wrong door. So she pointed the person to the next flat that, oh, it's not here, it's the next place. It's like, okay, how are you greeted? And when the person was going, just said hi to her, collected her contact, they started talking. Well, they got married, delivered to her doorstep. But it's not going to be like that for everybody. So I hear many sisters say things like, if it's God's will for me, if marriage is God's will for me, my husband will find me. I agree. In fact, I'm a firm believer of that. But then I'm asking, find you where? You don't go out, nobody even knows you. You don't have friends. You don't. Abba now. You can't, God, give God something to work with here. Of course, I know that God is all knowing, but then sometimes it requires our participation. You don't attend fellowships. You don't build friendships. You don't serve anywhere. In fact, you don't even like people. You don't like people. Yes, you are wondering, nobody even knows you exist. And it's now looking like you are getting depressed. Come, come. Before you end this video at this point and say, it's like this person is preaching desperation. I am the least desperate person you could ever meet. Ask my friends. I'm not. But then this is the truth. Let's come. Don't run away. Or let's talk. I'm not saying you should force relationships. And I'm not saying you should start chasing men about and start looking for them on the streets. No, that's not what I'm saying. And I'm most definitely not saying every event is a husband hunting expedition. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is position yourself where purpose can meet opportunity. Live your life, serve, build friendships, travel when you can, join communities that can help you grow, go to places where like minds are being built, attend healthy gatherings because life is not supposed, it's not meant to be lived in isolation. So don't pause your life while you're waiting for marriage. Live, laugh, play, grow, build friendships, join, build communities, and trust God to write your love story without you trying to control every chapter or limiting how much God could do. Because this is what I have learned. Being rightly positioned is not about making yourself available to everybody. It's about being faithful where God has placed you. And if the right person is meant to cross your path, let them meet you becoming all that God has called you to be. Not hiding from the word, not hiding from purpose, and definitely not hiding from life. The 5th thing I do while waiting for marriage. This particular one is very important. Let me ask you a question. If your spouse, your husband, or your wife is going to come now, what version of you would they meet? This is a question I've asked myself times and times again. I've realized that marriage is not the beginning of preparation. It starts way before you even think of getting married. It's more start. So most times I ask myself, what are the things I can deal with now that I don't have to wait for marriage to deal with? I'm the first daughter. I have responsibilities. Most times I ask myself, when I get married, would I be able to carry all this responsibility into marriage? And if I carry them into it, how will it impact the marriage positively or negatively? And if it's negatively, if I can deal with it now, why postpone it until later? There are things that you have to address now. Baggages, responsibilities, things that you have to put in place before you think about marriage. I don't want somebody to marry me now and then they start feeling like they've married everything. They also married everything I have refused to deal with. The same goes for my health. If there are healthier habits that I can inculcate now, that I can build now, why wait until marriage before I build them? If there's a way I can take care of my body now that will make my health better, like my the quality of my life better, why do I want to wait until it becomes a baggage for the person I'm going to marry? If there are financial disciplines I can master now, why wait until I marry? If there are emotional wounds that I can heal now, why wait until I marry and bring the burden on another person? See, marriage is beautiful, but we must learn, we must come to understand that marriage is not a repair shop. It's not a place where you bring all your problems and automatically it began to fix it. And that is why many marriages have problem today, because we now expect our spouse to attend to all those defaults, all those issues that we are bringing, to solve them. And when they are not living up to that standard, when we are still experiencing those things while married, then we start looking like they are not befitting. There's people start divorcing and saying that it's not bringing the best version out in me, when there's a version you could have been building even before you get married. There are things you should have settled even before that marriage comes. Look at your life. Think about it. If the right person comes now, what version of me are they coming to meet? Is it the best version of me? I'm just sitting there and waiting for him to come and then bring it out of me. Marriage does not automatically fix unhealthy habits. It doesn't automatically make somebody mature or responsible. And those are the things we should already now allow God to be taking care of, attending to, working on in our lives. And please don't get me wrong. Nobody is going to enter marriage completely 100% perfect. That's impossible. We are all still growing. But there's a difference between growing and refusing to grow and just staying and waiting. Anything goes. So sometimes I ask myself, what kind of woman is my future husband praying for? And I ask a even harder question. Am I becoming that kind of woman? There's a kind of man you want. There's a kind of woman he wants. Both are children of God. They are praying. God is not unfaithful. It will answer his prayer. It will answer your prayer. And the answer to your own prayer might just be work on yourself. So do not just count the days. Use them. Let God shape you. Let God prepare you. Let God work on you. Let him strengthen you. Let God heal you. Heal your heartbreaks. Heal your wounds. Heal your trauma. Heal you. Only he can. Because one day you are going to meet the right person. It will come. The Lord is writing your love story. The right person will come. And you'll be so grateful that you did not spend your singlehood merely waiting for him to come. You were becoming that person. Those are the 5 things that I do while waiting. If this conversation has blessed you, I will want you to share it with somebody. Share it everywhere. Share it, spread the word. Yes, the podcast is here and is God focused. Let me know in the comment section that you shared it, and also let me know in the comment section one thing that singleness has taught you or that God is teaching you in this waiting single period. Do not forget to subscribe, because this is just the beginning of their single podcast, and I cannot really wait to have more of these conversations with you. My name is Elu Joke, and until next time, don't forget, stop waiting, start becoming. Have a wonderful day. Bye.